Hey, it's Danny with Words Are Matter. Let's talk about name calling and labeling people. These crazy terms that are being thrust around where behaviors, opinions, and preferences are being conflated with identifiers like Trump supporter, climate change denier, sandwich eater, protein eschewer. It's really cuckoo pants, and it's pretty much basic 101 propaganda. So I would like to attune us to this particular propaganda technique that has us dehumanizing one another and putting each other in these reductive little dehumanizing boxes that come along with associations and narratives and straight up prejudices. So I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I was talking about this snow dump, and he was like, oh yeah, but climate change isn't real, right? And I said, yeah, you don't want to go there with me. His response was, oh, what, are you a climate change denier? And my response was, no, I'm your friend Danny. It's so crazy to me. All I said was, let's not go there. And then this label, right? So where did this label come from? This label came from the mainstream media as a way to discredit and discount alternate opinions. Now, I didn't say that climate change is real. I didn't say that I had an opinion about it whatsoever. I don't actually know because I'm not a climate scientist, and I haven't done enough deep research for myself as a journalist to come to any conclusions. I've seen really interesting perspectives on both sides, but that isn't really my point. My point is that all I said was, yeah, let's not go there because I'm not jumping on that narrative. And then it immediately went to, are you a climate change denier? It's such a silly term. It doesn't even flow. Like there's nothing melodic or rhythmic about it. But I've noticed that whenever I propose an alternate perspective to an issue, even when, and 99% of the time, I'm not saying that I'm aligned with that perspective, right? I don't have any allegiance to it. I'm just, as I do, offering a different perspective. Immediately, those who are under this mind control, who are under the influence of the propaganda that's being disseminated by the mainstream media, by the corporate media, which, let's be clear, 6 corporations own all of the mainstream media sites. They also all are pharmaceutical corporations. They also have various nefarious interests. So that's where these labels are being origin, right? Like look at anti-vax, how that is being thrown around. Offer any alternative point of views or data, which PS is illegal, which PS, why is it illegal to share information? And you're an anti-vaxxer, right? And look what that term does, how that marginalizes ideas, because all of a sudden these people are given these labels. And I've talked about this before. When we label people, it's super low vibe, right? We teach our children not to name call, but it makes it so that we don't discuss ideas, we don't discuss perspectives, which is exactly what the corporate media wants. They don't want us discussing ideas, facts, statistics, or ideas. They want us to not like one another. They want us to demonize one another and to hate one another. That is the function of these labels and these identifiers. That is the function of calling someone who chooses not to vaccinate their child for whatever reasons they're choosing to make that decision an anti-vaxxer. P.S. The only people who are pro-vax are people who've done zero research into vaccination safety / history. Just saying. So let's take another one. Trump supporter. Offer any perspective that counters the dominant mainstream narrative, whatever it is, that the guy in the Oval's racist, homophobic, an abuser, a misogynist, a scumbag, a thief, like whatever. So offer any perspective on policy, on quotes that have been taken out of context to feed a certain narrative. Offer any alternative perspectives on moves that he's making, and we are immediately labeled a Trump supporter, right? It's a way to shut down the conversation, to not talk about the policy at hand, the circumstances at hand, the quotes that have been taken out of context. It's a way to demonize people and to separate ourselves. So what this does is it creates division among our human family. What it does is when someone's an anti-vaxxer or a climate change denier or a Trump supporter, or if you're a vegetarian, if you're a flesh issuer, right? It allows people to put you in a box, to put you in a cage, and to close the door, and to create separation between you and them. All of a sudden, you're not a human being who's worthy of the same respect, rights. My vegetables are ready, because I'm a flesh issuer today. It allows us to dehumanize one another. This is the point. Again, this is why the mainstream media is pushing this particular brand of propaganda. These crazy, I say crazy because they're just so dumb. Climate change denier, Trump support. No, I'm a free-thinking individual who does my due diligence and dives deep, and I don't align 100% of my ideas and allegiances with a directional political party, left or right. I make up my mind for myself, and it doesn't make me a Trump supporter, a climate change denier, an anti-vaxxer. For the record, I wrote in Bernie in 2016, but it doesn't even matter. The point is that this is propaganda. So every time you are discounting someone's opinions, beliefs, or choices because they rub up against your own. And by the way, when I say your own, they rub up against the ones that you're being indoctrinated with. Because those who are utilizing these catchphrases, these dumb, stupid labels and identifiers, are not thinking for themselves. They're parroting what the propaganda puppet masters are telling them to parrot. And so know that when you do that, when you choose to identify someone who has a different belief, who has a different opinion, who has a different perspective, who made a different choice, and you choose to marginalize them as a Trump supporter, as a anti-vaxxer, as a climate change denier. I keep using these, as a sandwich eater, as a mouth breather, whatever. You are under mind control, and you are creating separation among your human family. You are lowering the collective vibration, and you are doing real deal damage to the collective. Be very, very clear. Remember how stupid this is what's crazy. It was a running joke on Seinfeld, right? Seinfeld used to have these silly little reductive identifiers for people. Mouth breather, the sidler, man hands. It's the same. But when Jerry Seinfeld was doing it on his show, it was a joke. It was comedy. Because it's so dumb, and it's so reductive, and it's so low vibration. And now we have a big bunch of Americans doing it about their fellow Americans who have different opinions and are making different choices. And it's very, very dangerous. It's very, very damaging. It's super reductive. It's super silly. It's super dumb. Please stop doing it. Just stop doing it. Stop trying to put people in boxes because you don't understand their point of view. Smarter is to avail yourself to their point of view, to learn, to get curious, to try to understand, to ask questions, and not marginalize them and demonize them based on the propaganda that the mainstream corporate media is attempting to enslave you with. Take your freedom back. Free your mind. Open up. Expand yourself. Get curious. Ask questions. Allow space for people to feel, think, and believe and perceive differently, and not need to marginalize them, to demonize them, to put them in a box, and to staple them with some stupid, unmelodic, clunky, awkward identifier that the mainstream media has made up for no other reason than to control and divide our nation. Thank you for paying attention. Thank you for remembering that every word matters, that you are omniscopic amazingness, as are all of us, and for remembering that every word matters. And I think I already said that. Have a rockin' day. Mwah.